So, what in the world was that? Am I the only one who's been feeling like that this past week? Like, what was that? Like, I posted something about a week ago about being single, and then I just started talking about being abstinent, and I'm just like, who asked you that? And I really mean it. Like, none of it was a lie. None of it was a lie. But am I the only one who's been feeling kind of wonky this week? By that I mean there was that, and then I also spilled water in my friend's apartment. I got my sister's food order wrong the other day. She sent me to the store to get some food, and I got something completely different. And I'm not usually like this, and I take it. I guess I just had a lot on my mind. I've had a lot on my mind, and maybe not enough. Maybe I haven't done enough venting. I try not to do too much venting per se. I guess I like maybe this. I don't know if this is a good or a bad habit, but I like to just either deal with the problem or not deal with the problem. However, I realize I think, I guess it being on my mind. I just want to say what really grinds my gears. I have no idea what I'm gonna title this, but I don't know. It's a vlog. I might as well speak on everything, all the things, right? So, you know what really grinds my gears? When you're just living your life. When you're just living your life, minding your business, not coming for nobody, and people decide they want to test you. One of the downsides to being a public tarot reader is that people always feel the need to test you or challenge your intuition, prove that you're lying or something. And unfortunately, it doesn't work out for them because I'm never lying. I was never lying, right? Why would I? First of all, I was a DJ for a long time. Like, why would I risk ruining a decent reputation I already have, lying that I could do this other thing, this other unnecessary thing? Like, it's necessary, but it ain't necessary. Like, being intuitive is a gift. It's exactly that. It was gifted to me to gift to others. And I kind of feel, it's one of the few things I feel obligated to do. Like, I'm an Aquarius with 2 more Aquarius placements. So trust me, I don't add on random obligations for the sake of feeling obligated to something. Definitely not one of those types of people, but I feel like when you're gifted a gift, you should gift it. Otherwise, there's another saying that goes, you snooze, you lose. So part of me imagines that if I don't use my gift, I'll lose the gift. I'm sorry, I keep dropping cards. Let me say. But where am I going with this? It's like, you know what really grinds my gears? Is when I'm just living my life, minding my business, people decide they want to challenge this business, and then things don't work out for that. They know that didn't work out for them. And now, here's the extra annoying part. When people obsessively watch you because they want to see if you're going to tell everybody. I literally rather been left alone. Like, I don't think people understand when I say that, I mean that. I would have rather been left alone. One of the reasons why I block people in life in general, because we act like we don't know how to just block people. One of the reasons why I block people in life in general, and one reason why I block people very quickly, is because the less happens. It's like the faster I block you, the less shit happens that I even have to remember or forget. Like, I hate the process. My problem is I actually have a really solid memory. That's actually a blessing and a curse. I don't want to remember so many things all the time. And it actually was one of my motivations for even beginning to learn the concept of being present. Being present, being one with yourself, being present in the now moment, going within, finding that inner peace. My name really is Zena, Z-E-N-A, right? Zen is short for Zena. And Zen means peace. And even at a young age, I was just like, I was starting to piece those dots together pretty early. Don't mind me, I feel weird without my vest. But I also I don't want to stop. And so I don't know. I started connecting certain dots pretty early. It's like Zen, peace, right? Zena's a warrior princess. Zen is a healer, right? A healer can very much be a warrior, and a warrior can very much be a healer. And I used to have a shoulda, coulda, woulda problem. I used to have a problem going, oh man, I should have did that like that. Oh man, I should have did this like this. Oh man, because my dad used to have that habit. Like whenever I made a decision he didn't agree with, he had a whole list of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Oh, you should have did this, or I shouldn't have let you. Mind you, it's my life, but he was like, oh, I shouldn't have let you do that, and I shouldn't have let you do that. I shouldn't have. It's always shoulda, coulda, woulda. And I realized that about myself. I realized I could remember, like I could conjure up a memory of something that happened when I was junior high school age, and I can get extremely pissed off about it in the present. And so I noticed early that that's not good. It's not good. I accepted in my early to mid 20s, I accepted at that point that my life already didn't go in this perfect way that I imagined. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a moment when you are in your adult age where you start to take an inventory of what you've learned, what you haven't learned, what you have yet to learn. And in other words, if it like wasn't for my first girlfriend or that first crush that I mentioned before, I might not have a driver's license. It's like my family never actually made it a point to teach me how to drive. I had to just go do it. I had a girlfriend with a car at the time. I used to drive it and even babysit it sometimes. And between that and I had a job at the time, I paid for the driving school. I paid. That's how I got my driver's license. I practiced and I paid the money. I failed the test twice, as a matter of fact, and I went back and I paid for another lesson. You know what I'm saying? I paid, even though I have 3 older siblings. My dad has owned several cars. Cousins, uncles, aunts. Nobody said, here, let me just teach you how to drive. So there's that. So in other words, when you're in your 20s and you realize, okay, you're not going to get everything from your family. You're going to have to teach yourself these certain things, and you're going to have to accept the fact that you might be considered a late bloomer, right? I accepted that early. I'm saying all that to say is I can't stand that crap. Like, I do my best to stay present and stay centered. Like, we've overused that word groundedness now. Okay, you grounded folks are more insecure. You're more insecure. You're still insecure. Okay, no matter how many times you keep saying it. I gotta get grounded. But, like, you're not, okay? Get centered. Be more centered. Centered is a type of groundedness. It's actually better. A bird is centered. You want to be able to freely flow in any direction from where you're at, right? Up, down, left, right. Who does that? A bird does that. What does that? Birds do that. Grounded animals only know how to be on the ground. They panic if you lift them up off the ground. Whereas a bird, now granted, a bird got little tiny feet. They're not really designed to be on the ground for very long, but they can come to the ground when they need to. they know how to fly. They also know they need to land every now and again. So that's what I mean by being centered. I'm saying all that to say is that might be partly what's on my mind, because there's somebody wondering, like, oh, are you going to tell on me? Just like, what the hell does that mean? Tell who what? This is not a gossip channel. There's never a day that goes by that I'm not trying to move on from something. and unfortunately, because I have, I guess, such a chill, laid back demeanor, people assume I ain't never been through nothing. So they decide that they want to put me through something, and then they wonder why I'm so unbothered. Like, who said I've never been through stuff? Like, I've been through much worse. Here comes somebody wanting to put some icing on that cake, and it's like I already been dealing with the cake. I already been dealing with what I've been dealing with. Why I need to talk about you specifically? You did the same crap everybody else did. And so there's that. If you're sorry, then say you're sorry. If you're not sorry, then go on about your life. Leave me alone. Also, I don't know, I'm feeling like maybe having had these things on my mind, on top of that, there was the new moon, and something went into retrograde recently, right? I don't know, I feel like the combination of all these things kind of messing with me. And like, I haven't been to the beach all summer. All summer. I probably have incredible tan lines right now. Like, this whole midsection of my body is probably pale. And I feel like I've, like, darkened the full shade. That's why sometimes I do this. So I don't uneven my face. At least I want to at least have an even face. Oh man, but like I said, this past week has been interesting. What's funny is before last week, I was about to say how much I'm starting to like water seasons. I think the water season used to be my least favorite because it literally feels like that. It literally feels like I'm walking through waist deep water. And I guess the older I get, the more I recognize how that's a really good pace. You're not rushing, you're also not delayed. I feel like that the pace of walking through water, that's a really nice and steady pace when you really think about it. Like, sometimes that's exactly what you need. You know what, I've also been thinking about how boxers would do resistance training. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's other technical terms for it. They'll submerge their body up to the neck and do this under the water. That's got to be real good for your muscles and your joints, and it's like, you know, water has this natural resistance, so it's like breaking the water. It's probably really good. I don't know about y'all, but I've been feeling like this water season has been providing me with some very very adequate resistance training. Treading water. I was practically in the rain yesterday. I think I got caught in the rain twice this season. Like, I think it was one day last week. It literally felt like we had a hurricane for about 15 minutes. I was outside for those exact 15 minutes. That's what's so crazy. By the time I got back home, the rain had stopped. Kind of like yesterday. Yesterday was drizzly. If I had held on a little bit longer, I would have been outside for the rain to stop. But it drizzled for a good while, longer than I expected. And I ended up going home. I think I was outside for like a good hour in the rain. I was calling his bluff, because like when you check the weather, it's like them clouds been moving around a lot lately, and that's so annoying. And it'll be like, oh, I checked the weather on Monday. It'll be like rain all day Thursday. But if you check the weather again Wednesday night, it'll be like rain from 4 to 5 o'clock. And then when you check it in the morning, that same morning, it'd be like cloudy all day. Although I think it rained heavier somewhere else. This is just me kind of just talking. I want to talk through this weird energy I've been going through. And so, if nothing else, it shows that my bad habit is definitely oversharing. My bad habit is oversharing, and probably not always having the best tact. I'm never lying. There's no point in lying about something I don't have to tell you about. That's the other reason that I'd be kind of annoyed at the lying, because lie to you for what? You're my parent? Am I gonna get in trouble? Like, are you gonna arrest me? You know what I mean? Like, why am I lying? It's not my fault there's so many liars in the world. I'm not one of them. So there's that. Like, sometimes I realize I should maybe give myself some venting, allow myself to vent in here sometimes, because I realize, yeah, I've been pushing things down. I've been pushing things down, and I don't know. Like I said, being a public figure, sometimes you get positive attention, sometimes you get not so nice attention. And that's why we have block buttons. If I ain't got to deal with you, I ain't got to deal with you. Only people I have to see every day is the people that live in my building. I can't stop them from coming outside because I don't want to see them, and vice versa. But other than that, I'm blocking you. I've blocked people that live in my neighborhood too. Don't get me wrong. I've blocked people in my own building too. So nobody here has to feel like I zeroed you out. It's important to have some general rules about yourself. And when people cross that boundary, block them. Like, what? Nobody's trying to work nothing out. Let's work something out. But nobody's trying to work anything out. They just like, what other lie can I tell? It's like, stop now, okay? It's it. It's enough. Leo season, it feels like it's going to be really great. It's so interesting. Sometimes as I'm talking, I'll shuffle. Actually, I think I'm gonna label this little section something like venting and ramblings, and then start a second section where I actually pull some cards. Be right back.